Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We are in the 2300 SR range, and we will be playing Zarya the entire way through. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, Zarya, McCree, Widowmaker, Junkrat, and Ana. So we have 3 DPS and 1 healer, which is not the end of the world, but if one of our DPS is going to play a mediocre hero, I would rather they just picked another healer. Junkrat on Gibraltar, you know, what is the first 2 checkpoints on Gibraltar have a lot of? High ground. What's it hard to do? Throw grenades up onto high ground. So, perhaps not the best hero choice in the world, unless they're going for some sick, Bastion, Torbjorn, Orisa strats in the corner, and then I guess it's fine, but also, why not just pick Pharah? You know, so anyway, let's start the game. So we're attacking Gibraltar first. Here goes Junkrat. No, he decided not to go out because he would have in fact gotten absolutely murdered. So, the opening to this game, something quite depressing happens, because you'll notice this Reinhardt is not really doing very much. Initially, he's just sort of running around with his shield down. At no point does he actually hold it. Oh no, he holds his shield up right there. And then he never puts that shield back up again. But he's out for blood. He sees this Junkrat and he gets the Junkrat. The Junkrat wasn't really allowed to do that, so he deserved to die for it. But now, Reinhardt's just gonna go around and slap people. And he gets away with this, and it's very depressing, and there's not too much we can do to stop it because we have low energy when this starts happening. We have high energy by the end of it, but by that point, Reinhardt's already killed us and a few other people. So it's very depressing that he gets away with that. Not that much we can do about it since the game just started and we didn't have high energy yet. It's just very sad. However, he did still die, so it's a much better trade for us because Reinhardt has to spend a very long time getting back, but we died right outside of our gate, so 10 seconds later, we're back again. So as we can see, Junkrat is again being a productive member of society over here. He in fact just dies, oh, right there, just fucking dead again. We do use our bubble light predictively, which is not generally good practice. However, this man's got like 10 HP, so we're trying to make sure he doesn't die. But then he squanders our good faith and goes away to kill himself anyway. So there's Zarya. She has some armor at the very bottom of her shield, so this makes it slightly more inconvenient to kill her, because the damage reduction applies to the shields as well. Reinhardt's back now, by the way. Where did Reinhardt come from, exactly? Shit, dude, fuck if I know. He's a fucking ninja, goddamn. Because he died way back when. When did he get back? Where does he come from? Where does he go, Cotton Eye Joe? I don't understand. He just appears. Whatever. Alright, so Reinhardt's the greatest stealth character in the game, it turns out. And he pinned us out of nowhere, and then we died, and then he earth-shattered, and now everyone's dead again. However, we did die right outside of our spawn, so we get to come back. Our Reinhardt has killed their Reinhardt, so this is once again a good trade for us. Now our Ana's dead because she got shot by Widowmaker. Junkrat has finally decided that he would like to actually play the video game sometime today, so he's changed to Winston, which is a much better pick. So, we are gonna now sit here and push this cart for a while. What I will say is you should back up first and try to help break that turret before doing this. Just like left-click it, right-click it, whatever. You should help break that turret because breaking Torbjorn's turret is pretty important, and you were in a fine position to try and do so. But what we're actually going to do is this for a while. They've noticed, they figured it out, here they come. And Reinhardt's gotten over here to stop us, but we pushed it all the way through the ditch before anyone noticed, so good job us. Here's Winston. He isn't very much help to us because we're fighting 2 tanks right now, and Winston is bad at fighting tanks. And here comes Toblerone, we can see him coming around the corner. He did just use his Molten Core, so we don't have to worry about that. Winston's over there, trying to take care of the Widowmaker. don't wanna do that, because we see it that their Reinhardt actually gets put to sleep right there, which is fairly miraculous, all things considered. We don't want to just wake him up, because hopefully our Reinhardt gets into a position to actually, like, pin him against the crate or something. He could have done that, right? Yeah, he could have just, like, walked forward a little bit and pinned the Reinhardt to the wall right next to us, which is better than us just doing, like, a little bit of damage, because we're pretty low charge right now, and we just wake him up. We'd rather he stays asleep. Even if Reinhardt doesn't, like, actually pin him against the wall and kill him, we'd rather he's just asleep for longer, because that's more time he's doing nothing. If you can't, like, actually kill the person that's been put to sleep through some easy means, like pinning them, or, like a McCree shooting them in the head or something like that, just let them sleep as long as possible before waking them up, because that's just time that they're doing nothing. So, we generally want our opponents to do as little as possible. So, we are trying really hard to build up some charge right now, but we're not really allowed to do this, because we don't have enough charge to actually make this play happen. And Reinhardt, I've been this Reinhardt before, he's not going to take his shield down and smack you, because why would he? You've got your bubble on him. So he's not going to give you any charge doing this. And when we start doing this, we've got 20 charge when we start doing this. So we are going to do effectively nothing to this guy, especially since he's also got the Harmony Orb onto him. And we put ourselves really out of position, and then he just Earth Shatters us, and now we're dead. The Earth Shatter is a bit of an overreaction on his part, but we weren't in a position to go forward and try and make that play happen, because we just put ourselves out of position, but we don't have enough charge to actually do it. Now, we don't really want Winston to change, because they still have a Widowmaker. Oh no, they don't have a Widowmaker anymore, they have a McCree though. I would still rather Reinhardt changed, honestly, to a second healer, because I think Winston is better against their team. Because if you look at their team, we've got, like, Winston is good against this guy, this guy, this guy. He's not terrible against Torbjorn, but it's kind of like he doesn't really want to fight him. And then he's, like, not the worst in the world at fighting Zarya, because she's the only tank in the game that doesn't have armor, so he's actually not, that's, like, the one tank he can kind of, like, fight. So Reinhardt is, like, also not bad against any of these people, but I feel like Winston is more likely to get work done, considering he's very good against these three people. So I would rather Reinhardt changed instead of Winston. I would also rather Widowmaker changed, because I don't feel like she's going to get that much work done, mostly because she has yet to get any work done, really. But what can you do, you know? We could also consider changing to a healer, since if they changed into the three tanks, they probably don't care very much about changing to a second healer within their little circle, because they opted into the three tanks. Our one healer is Anna, so that's like the best healer you can have in a three tank composition. That used to be the standard for a little while, was three tanks and Anna. Though she was slightly stronger at that point in time. She's been nerfed a little bit since then. But we have, like, the best healer for it. It's not like the end of the world, but if one of the tanks is going to change, I would rather it be Reinhardt. And if you're that bothered about it, you can just, like, use this Graviton and then change off of Zarya if you think the second healer is the problem. I don't think the healer is really the issue in this game. It just feels like, well, their Reinhardt, like, got away with murder for quite a while at the start. And there wasn't that much we could do about it to stop it as Zarya, because Zarya's not exactly going to kill a Reinhardt that quickly, unless she's at 100% charge. So it just, it was limited options. We had to stop that, and he just kind of got away with it for a while. And then there was a lot of staggered deaths. Then there was the one fight we basically didn't take part in, but actually kind of went sort of well for our team. And then we put ourselves out of position. I don't feel like any of these problems would have been helped by having a second healer. I think it's just like a lot of staggered deaths have kind of been contributing to this. So we're back now. We've decided to come this way around. This is such an that's a whole other thing right there. So this is a very aggressive maneuver that we're executing right now, where we're just kind of like going straight at them. By ourselves as well, it looks like, because they're all sort of posturing over by the ledge instead. But we're just running straight at these dudes while we've got 0 charge. If you've got 0 charge, you're not allowed to be aggressive because you don't do any damage. And yeah, we're gonna get some charge off this turret, but it doesn't even get us up to 40 charge, right? Because it's just the turret. So, God, excuse me, Jesus, excuse me, please. So, we've got 0 charge. When you've got 0 charge, you've got to play more passively until you have high charge, because if you're 0 charge, you don't actually do any damage. All you effectively do is get a laser pointer and shine it in their face, like, ooh, are you annoyed yet? You annoyed yet? Ooh, and then they go, oh God, please just go away. So we have to play more passively until we actually have a high energy. Like, you can try and, like, get some charge off of the turret, that's fine, whatever. But then, like, continuing to march forward and then perform this maneuver, where we just ult the Torbjorn, wouldn't recommend it. This is actually gonna go a lot better than expected, because I looked at this and I was like, this is a very bad use of company resources, because we've only ulted Torbjorn. We could just, like, fight the Torbjorn, or just not even be in this position where we have to fight the Torbjorn right now. But what happens right afterwards is Zenyatta feels like he has to use that, and Torbjorn feels like he has to use that. So we actually trade Graviton for 2 of their stronger ultimates. So, what the fuck do I know? But I would not just ult the Torbjorn straight up. That's not a very good use of company resources, but they respond with an even worse use of company resources. So, it evens out in the end. So our Reinhardt also used Earth Shatter. Zenyatta died. Reinhardt's nano boosted. Everybody's dead. Great. Awesome. Here comes Mercy. So Mercy does this. And I don't know if Mercy is thinking this, because I feel like this SR might be a little too low for her to be thinking this deep into it. But I see a Mercy come out and solo res Zarya like this, and I think to myself, Zarya has Graviton. But I don't know that Mercy was thinking that. She might have just been, like, trying to res 2 people, missed the second person, or she might have just done the thing Mercy players do, where they're like, I'm gonna go res this person, because then we can contest the point. Turns out that Zarya does have Graviton, but I don't know if that was actually part of the Mercy's plan or not. So, this is the kind of situation where if you don't mind talking to people, you're like, watch out for Graviton. We haven't seen her use Graviton in a while also, so we can assume she has it. But this is the point where if you, like, communicate with people, you're like, watch out for the Graviton, and at very least, you just back away because Graviton's probably coming. Graviton does indeed come. It's not a very good use of Graviton, though, because her team is not here to capitalize on it, and so not very many people actually die. Reinhardt does that, but it's already too late. We've already got the checkpoint, so it doesn't even matter, and now he's dead. So, they mismanaged 4 of their ultimates. Think about what happened, right? We started a fight with them when we had, like, no ultimates ready to go. And we don't even have that many good ultimates, actually, if you think about it. Because we have a Widowmaker and a Winston as well. So we have 2, like, not great ultimates right there. I mean, Widowmaker's ult is good for Widowmaker, and, like, not for any of our heroes or for using with Graviton. So if you think about it, we started a fight while they had a lot more ultimates than us. We don't even have that many good ultimates. And they used 4 ultimates, but we still won because they misused every single one of their ultimates. Isn't it incredible? The great equalizer is that the enemy team can always be worse. So we're still really, like, upset about not having a second healer. I still don't think it matters. I feel like it wouldn't have really changed very much. I mean, obviously that's hard to say, because that happened in a parallel universe, so we'll never know. Maybe we had a Zenyatta in this parallel universe and he absolutely wrecked face. We'll never know. But I don't feel like having a second healer would have made that much difference. And if you're that upset about it, you can just change. You just use Graviton, so you don't have to worry about dropping ult charge, but I don't think it really matters that much. We have an Ana, we have 3 tanks, so, like, it's kind of fine. The 2-2-2 thing doesn't really matter that much, honestly. We're still in, like, the SR range where most people are not even going to know how to play their heroes properly anyway, so it usually doesn't matter. And I generally follow the philosophy that if your team picked the heroes they picked, those are probably the heroes they know how to play. So, if you, like, it seems kind of pointless to me when people are on the Genji main or whatever, like, Genji changed to fucking Mercy or some shit. He's got, like, 50 hours on Genji and, like, 0 hours on Mercy. He's gonna be bad at Mercy. Like, it doesn't matter if he changes to Mercy, he's gonna be bad at Mercy. You might as well just, like, let him continue playing Genji, because he's gonna be worse at Mercy, probably, if he doesn't play that hero. At the end of the day, it's more important that you're playing a hero that you're good at playing, rather than forcing yourself to play something you don't know how to play, because it's better for the meta. Like, if you don't know how to play it, you won't be able to take advantage of it anyway, so I just kind of, like, go with whatever. If our team picks, like, 5 DPS, I just go, whatever, I'll just pick a healer, I guess, we'll go with it, maybe it'll work. If it ends up being, like, 3 tanks, and we need a healer, I'll be like, I'll pick a healer, whatever. Got like 4 DPS, 1 healer, 1 tank, whatever. If the fucking McCree doesn't know how to play a tank, who gives a shit? I'm not gonna make him play Zarya and then watch him run around with 0 charge all game, you know? So, whatever. Rambling point. So, which is my favorite kind of point to make. Concise, coherent arguments? No. Got no interest in that. Rambling, incoherent tangents? Now that's what I'm talking about. So, let's continue the game now. It's a good thing this is a short game, or God, we'd be here forever, wouldn't we? So, 2 of our team are dead right now, so we shouldn't even be doing what we're doing right now, because it's not gonna work. We're already down 2 people. We're all dead now. We did all die at, like, the same time, roughly, so at least nobody is super staggered, except Anna. You know, only the worst person to have be staggered, but whatever. So now we have to wait for everyone to regroup. We almost have Nano Boost. We don't exactly have a sick Nano combo. Our Winston is changed to Reaper, so that's a better use of, Nano Boost. Even if he doesn't have ult, like, he just changed to Reaper, so obviously he doesn't have Death Blossom. He's still gonna be better to Nano Boost in most cases than a lot of our team. So where did we use our bubble right here? Nah, dude, don't do that. Just generic Zarya advice I say every time we talk about Zarya, basically. Try not to use your bubbles predictively, because it tends to not get very much done. Because if the person hasn't started shooting at them yet, they're just like, oh, whoa, okay, I just gotta hold on, alright, now I'll start shooting. It's harder to stop shooting if you've already started shooting. Like, it's harder to stop yourself once you've started. And even if they react, they're not gonna react on the frame you put the bubble on the person. So you're still gonna get some charge off of it, because they're still gonna hit the person if they've already started shooting at them. So try not to, like, anticipate damage. Try to react to damage. Either wait till you've started taking damage, or wait until the other person started taking damage. And then you'll generally get more charge. It's a little easier with yourself, because you can see somebody shooting someone else, and then you can just bubble yourself and walk into their line of fire. You can't rely on that with your E, so you kind of have to sort of wait for other people to start taking damage, usually. And you can take that advice too far. I'm not saying, like, wait for the person to be half dead, but just usually waiting until somebody has started taking damage is going to get you more charge. So, so we're going forward now. We don't have a bubble to use on this Reinhardt as he's charging in, and boy, would that have been a lot of charge right there, and he might not be dead also. McCree's doing that, though, so we would in fact still be dead regardless. So, everybody's dead now. Reaper's trying real hard to stagger himself. Is he gonna stagger himself? Yeah, he's gonna stagger himself. He may have killed their Mercy, but, like, we're getting back, and he's only just respawning as we get here. Good times. So, we are 2/3 of the way to having a Graviton. We have no charge again because we just died. Here comes Zenyatta. We're just right-clicking up there. What's, like, going on underneath us, though? Like, there's kind of, like, a fight breaks out down here. Like, yeah, you know, the McCree up there is kind of an issue, but you've got no charge right now, so you're not doing any damage to him, and he's being healed right now. You're better off turning your attention down into this fight down here, because you can probably help more with this situation, and try and get some charge out of it. No point shooting at the dude who's getting healed while you got 0 charge, because you got 0 charge, so you do no damage right now. When you have no charge, your priority is just basically get some charge so I can start doing damage, because right now I do no damage. Now we got 40 charge, so we're starting to feel a little better about ourselves. Now we're in the Graviton, so we're not feeling so good about ourselves. Oh no, those people are alive again. There goes Reinhardt. Should have bubbled the Reinhardt as he slid by right there. We could have done so, right? It was off cooldown. Yeah, it was off cooldown. Might have just not done it in time, but you want to bubble that guy as he's sliding by, because you usually want to charge the Reinhardt as he's bubble the Reinhardt as he's charging in, because that's when he's going to take the most damage, and therefore you'll protect him the most, and you'll also profit the most off of it. So, right now we really want this Mercy. As soon as you turn this corner, and you see you can't catch up to Mercy, basically, you give up on it. Like, yeah, I'd go this far. As soon as you see Mercy's just, like, gone already, it's not gonna happen. You still have no charge, so you're not gonna do any damage to this Mercy. And she's, like, getting away from you. She's regened up to mostly full HP at this point. You've got no charge, it's not gonna work. You're better off just, like, hanging out up there still, because the fight's still happening up there, and you'll build up more charge up there to actually start fighting, and you'll build up your ult, so maybe you can Graviton while some of your team are still alive. Because now your whole team is dead. And we do manage to build up Graviton, but it's far too late at this point. It's not your job to go chasing after Mercy anyway. You're just better off hanging around with your team as Zarya. But even if you're gonna chase her like to the bottom of the staircase, yeah, okay, maybe she gets like hung up on the door frame or something. But once she's in, it's like, you're not gonna get her. She's gotten away from you at that point. So now we are going to defend on Gibraltar, and as you can see, our team is going for some stuff we're not super stoked about, but it is what we have. So, yeah, no. No doubt the Torbjorn is at the very least like, their Torbjorn did well, so I'm gonna pick Torbjorn. Kinda like, when your Team Symmetra or their Team Symmetra does really well, and then the other team is like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Symmetra now. Even if it makes no sense to pick Symmetra. That's the hero I feel like it's the most common with, where they see like the other team Symmetra get kills, and then they're like, I'm gonna change to Symmetra, fuck y'all. Don't know what it is about Symmetra. It might just be the fact that they think she's really easy to play, and therefore there's sick SR to be gained off of it. There isn't, but, you know, unless the enemy team is real bad, but you have to also be pretty good at Symmetra, which most people are not. Don't bubble like that. That's, you know, prediction. Don't do that. We actually end up getting 25 charge off of it, because he got, like, direct hit with a rocket, presumably. But, it's generally not going to get you that much charge. We're not allowed to do this, because we only have to, we have a little bit more charge than 10 when we get here, but we've got under 20 charge. We're not allowed to do this, because we don't have enough energy to make this happen right now. Hanzo gives us a little bit. We still don't have enough to be making this play happen. Got low charge, play passive until you have high charge. Also, I would just say low and high charge. Like, consider high charge like 50 and above. That's the point where you start actually, like, doing decent damage. So if you're, like, below 50, play, like, passive until you've got more charge. And then when you've got high charge, you can start playing more aggressive and start going bullying people around. That's like a predictive use of a bubble, but it's also a Bastion sitting out in the open shooting at someone. So it's a relatively safe bet that you'll get some charge off of it. We've now gotten into a fight with Hanzo. He is being healed by, Zenyatta, and we have low charge when this fight starts again. So we aren't really allowed to be doing this, but we get away with it. So I mean, whatever. But we aren't allowed to play so aggressively when we have low charge. Also, the point's been getting pushed steadily past us this entire time, which if I'm to be honest with you, I didn't actually notice. But I'll use the excuse of I'm not actually in the game where I'd be paying more attention to it. Ha ha ha. That's how you get away with it right there. But shouldn't you be more paying attention to it because you don't have to actually worry about playing the game right now? No, shut up, get away from me. Don't talk to me. So, we still have low charge, and this is very much an issue, because we aren't allowed to be doing this because we have low charge. We build up a bit of charge as it's happening, but by the time we build high charge, we're at a quarter of our life, so we just get killed instead. we aren't allowed to play that aggressively still, because we don't have high charge. The overarching theme of this game is, we can't do this because we don't have enough charge to be doing this. And spoiler warning, that's going to be the major thing I say at the end of this game as well. Because the thing is with Zarya is, and every mistake kind of branches off of having low charge, where it's like, a lot of these aggressive plays we've been making, we could get away with more if we had high charge, but we've had low charge. Also, we should be just backing up right now. We shouldn't even be fighting right here. The terrible spawn thing has happened, where we've spawned at this point as they're taking the second point, which is very terrible on Gibraltar, and can also happen on the third checkpoint. But we don't want to be fighting over here. We should have just been backing up to group up with our team. So, as I was saying, a lot of things with Zarya branch off of not having high charge, so spoiler warning, the major theme at the end of this is going to be, if you have a high charge, that would fix a lot of the other issues we had, because it's like, we haven't really gotten to use Graviton very much. If you're low charge most of the game, you won't get to use Graviton very much. We could play more aggressively if we had high charge. We have not had high charge, so we have not been allowed to be playing aggressively as we have. Spoiler warning, we've also lost this game. I don't know if you've, noticed, but we are in fact not going to win this video game. We are in fact going to get murdered right there. Bastion's trying in tank form. Everybody's alive except Bastion right now. It's, as you can see, it's not really going very well over there. Starting to kill some people. So, do we get back again? I don't remember if we actually we get back again, because they have actually given up on that push. Isn't it incredible that they didn't win right there, honestly? So, we're back now. We have Graviton built up. We still have low charge. This is happening over here. No. 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 Wouldn't recommend that one. Even if you caught both of them with that ultimate, it's not really worth it, because you shouldn't need the ultimate to kill those two people, because they're badly out of position by themselves. So you shouldn't need to use the Graviton on those people, and then we only catch one person, so it's even worse. Just, you know, compounding on top of each other. We're getting way aggressive right now, and we've had some charge, so we've gotten away with it, but we didn't quite kill the Hanzo right there, which feels real bad, man. If we had our Graviton to use in the middle of that fight, that would have been a lot better than on the Pharah and the Mercy. And now we've lost the game. This will not have come as a huge surprise, considering the way the game has been going, I imagine. So let's watch the play of the game. Who got the play of the game? Reinhardt. It has to be Reinhardt, doesn't it? There, Reinhardt, that is. Yes. Yes, it is. He's gonna smack a lot of people with his hammer. Oh, shit. What an overreaction. But whatever. I've done that, though. I've also seen the McCree. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Damn. It all happened right at the end. Damn. Feels good when the fire strike kills more than one person. So, as I have alluded to, the main thing that stands out this game is we're walking around with low charge most of the game, which is usually the source of many problems had in the game. Which we have been talking about this the entire game, so we'll not belabor the point too much in a rare attempt to actually be concise. Isn't it rare? Good heavens. So yeah, just concentrate on building charge before trying to do a lot of the stuff we did, and that'll generally fare better. Number one priority is Zarya. If you're low charge, build up charge, because you're not really a hero when you're low charge. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.